Courtney. All right, looks like we're getting set up here. So let's go ahead and get started. So my name is Jared. This is Engineering the Markets. It is June 1st, 2021. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So taking a look at the month that has passed, we'll start off with our SPX. And I would normally use the SPY ETF. My platform is currently not giving me monthly data. So the one thing that is missing from this overview is going to be volume, but we can look at the index and still get a sense of price action. Coming from May, we certainly had some volatility, and that can easily be seen with the formation of the monthly candle. One thing of note, we still remain well elevated inside of the monthly perspective. We see that the market has not come back to any semblance of trending support outside of our normal trend lines that we do draw on shorter time frames. And we do have the potential for some sort of hanging man structure based on the month of May. Now, this volatility is notable because in the shorter time frames, we certainly saw reactions at key trend line support areas. We saw shorter time frame breakouts to the upside, and there have been markets that have continued to perform bullish. But the rotation and some of the lack of performance in other areas, notably tech and discretionaries, has led us to be a little bit more precarious as to whether or not this market has the gas to continue to the upside. Now, with our SPY, and I'll go to a weekly, at this point I will switch over to the SPY because I can pull up this data. I'll go ahead and remove our normal sort of horizontal and trend line support and resistance lines. And we'll see that the month of May was simply a lot of up and down price action, which led to somewhat of indecision on the monthly. We also note that the volume was elevated during the period of May. And while we have cleared and closed higher in May, there have been some areas that have not recovered to the same degree. We'll shift over to the NDX once again due to the monthly data not loading on the QQQ. And we see that the NASDAQ does not look the same. Assets in previous months have been highly correlated. With that correlation, we have seen things that, for the most part, have performed very similarly. Certain assets will rise and fall at roughly the same rate of change. And outside of a couple of outperformers and laggards, most things have been performing to the upside. It is notable that the NASDAQ, amidst some of this volatility, has not really recovered to the same degree as the SPY. We've seen a bit of shift near the end of May back into things like semiconductors, and we've been mentioning certain catalysts, albeit maybe short-lived, with things like NVIDIA announcing a stock split. We've had certain companies start to outperform amidst a more global supply lack in the semiconductor space. But overall, some of our bigger tech names and some of our larger market cap consumer discretionaries have, for the most part, underperformed in recent weeks, with a counterpoint as to communication stocks like Facebook and Google outperforming. So amidst some of that, we've seen maybe more rebalancing in those areas, and it has led to a NASDAQ that has, for the most part, either been relatively unchanged throughout the month of May and closing actually lower than the start of May. As we get into our weekly and we shift into the Qs, we note things like the 20-period moving average on the weekly still holding as an area of support, areas where the market likes to respond with some sort of shorter-term trend change. And with the QQQ, we see that things are still somewhat in the mid-range of previous price action. We have a previous all-time high that has not yet been tested. We also note that amidst the volatility, we did have to come all the way back to our trend line to find support. And this was the first market that really started to sell off in the month of May, somewhat facilitating the sell in May and go away nomenclature that we did comment on back in late April. So finally, with our IWM, let's see if the monthly data is loading at this point. It does look like it is. So I'll stick to the IWM. Our IWM still remains somewhat precarious in the fact that we've had a large run-up in the monthly perspective. And over time, we have consolidated in a sort of back and forth price action with relatively elevated volume in these upper ranges. Now, as we look at lower time frames, we note that some of this may be seen as a more distributive type of pattern. The idea of distribution being that large money-making firms, basically our large players in the market, are starting to essentially reduce some of their position size, and that's met with that balanced area in the market where buyers and sellers are essentially fighting back and forth, as smart money may be starting to leave and retail money may be entering, leading to that sort of distributive pattern that we often see in charts. Now, we've had some developments in the past couple of days where the IWM certainly has picked back up off of some of the recent lows, but amidst a monthly chart, we simply see that so far this market has yet to break down, as we have not closed below a previous indecision candle inside of the month of April. But we also have a very volatile period in May where we've tested this lower trend line and closed essentially similar to the QQQ, not a strong month overall, but opportunities if you were looking to buy certain price points near the lows. And looking at our weekly, we see similar to the Qs, they are starting to close above a 20-period moving average, which we've seen in the past. We've certainly seen tests of this moving average amidst other cycles in this market, but those tests have been met with a lack of follow-through. So in this close here, we certainly would like additional confirmation to start to clear some of our more notable downtrend lines that we have in the shorter time frames. And this would be obviously our daily time frame, where we are pretty much sitting right at one of the more key downtrend resistance points in the IWM. We've had some shorter time frame breakouts amidst what's occurring in stocks like GameStop, AMC, and some of the growth names of alternative energy, plug and fuel cell being the most notable. So these markets continue to be our main focus and give us additional context and analysis that we can bring into our sort of thesis for the month of June. I would say that with the tech sector, there's still some amount of proving to do, as the QQQ is mid-range. We are seeing the willingness to sell in certain resistance points. It's not as clear of breakout opportunities as we've had in the past. We see that things like the IWM are starting to pick back up. There may be additional opportunity if they can hold certain key areas in the support zone ranges that we do have inside of that market. And obviously, there are some specific risks in some of the volatility that we are seeing in stocks that are moving upwards of 100% in a period of a couple of weeks. So the upside volatility is certainly there, but we must note that the downside risk is just as present. And with the IWM, we are still in a range, a trading range, that can easily fail to expand to the upside, as we've seen multiple times in the past. Finally, with the Dow, as we look at our monthly, it does look like monthly data is starting to load. We have met once again with a bit of indecision on our monthly. We see the potential for some sort of pause in the overall uptrend. This market does show relative strength, as we did close notably above the previous month. And we did not see a lot of retesting of previous zones of interest, unlike the SPY, which certainly could be considered sort of a close inside the previous month's range. Doesn't look like all of them are loading. The NASDAQ closing once again previous range, very volatile, lots of testing to the downside, and then our IWM. So I'm basically building the case here that in the month of May there were standouts. We had NASDAQ relatively weak, IWM lagging up until the end of the month. We saw the SPY have periods of outperformance with continuation in some of our key sectors. We want to note things like financials really have not broken down. Industrials continue to climb. Energy has held. And amidst tech and discretionaries, once they had bottomed, of course, we had some additional upside, I would say momentum, amidst our other sectors holding strong. We also have healthcare, which very notable, I would say, downside performance inside of the last couple of days of May. This was an area that we may want to consider focusing on a bit more heavily, as it is one of those sectors that may outperform in certain market cycles, of which we may not currently be entering as of yet. But we certainly want to keep it on watch, as it is a strong sector that so far has been getting stronger over time. So with our Dow, just kind of circling back to the Dow, indecision on the monthly, as with all of our markets, very extended in these time frame periods. Our weekly also showing a bit of elevation and a little bit of additional volatility, as we saw the same willingness to sell inside of the mid-May timeframe, but notably closing strong in the final week of May. And our short time frame still really showing no warning signs yet, as the trend so far has continued to the upside. So looking into a new month, we kind of want to see how the month is starting. Are there some real big standouts that are not only intraday opportunities, and we'll certainly cover some of those here, but all of a sudden has something woken up? Has there been sort of a lack of, I would say, perception or even focus in certain areas, and now we're seeing a big change? And I would say that as of this morning, I do have a couple worth mentioning. We'll start off with crude. So our analysis on crude has been mostly a technical analysis where we've seen crude put in a significant top. We've had a strong sell-off from that top. We built energy inside of a trading range. That trading range did break bullish, and we had some inner structures to work off of. That bullish breakout was met with volatility, but overall the channel structure built itself off of that trading range. And as we climbed back above to start to test the previous swing high, we saw things like a triple top start to form, and that led to sort of our final sell-off and retest of the previous trading range. So as with most analysis, things start to evolve over time. We recognize that as with most commodity markets, things are a bit elevated, but the theme remains the same. We are trending inside of crude. Crude is going to see periods of decline amidst a strong upward trend. And amidst those periods of decline, if you are looking to be bullish, you are looking for risk versus reward opportunities to allocate into a position that you believe has more upside. So with crude, we remained relatively bullish, albeit there was a significant sell-off inside of the swing high that we did set inside of early March. And throughout this analysis, we simply had to remain optimistic to the idea that certain things occurring would lead to additional things occurring. Breakouts of the trading range would lead to retests of previous highs. Testing the upper portion of the trading range would lead to resistance turn support. And so far, those thesis ideas have worked out quite well. We are now in the final component of the analysis where our shorter term review of this price action has led to a breakout. And whether or not this breakout holds will be seen in the next couple of days. But it is notable that on the month end and the start of June, we are seeing crude open up quite strongly. So into today's session, I will of course be looking at energy as an opportunity from a sector performance, but I would say into the month of June and beyond, let's look at crude from higher time frames and see if this breakout holds, which is always the start of a thesis, starting with some sort of if statement. If this happens and or certain other things occur, where can we expect crude to go? We'll start to remove these structures here as they become less relevant as we move away from this value zone. And we see that crude is starting to clear a significant swing high that we had in the past. This is, of course, pre-COVID, and it is actually back in 2019. If this area holds, and this is enough consolidation-based energy to break us higher, where can we start to look? And I would say the most simple spot would be our next swing high, somewhere close to our 76 to 77 price range. Have we seen movements like this in this market previously? I would say that yes, we have. We've climbed a wall of worry inside of the crash of this market. We've seen reactions at previous swing highs. And amidst some of the more notable areas where we had formations of double tops, this market took longer to consolidate. But so far, the trend remains. The structure of this uptrend has not been impacted very significantly amidst this consolidation. And until we see warning signs that things are changing, we want to essentially remain in that mindset. The trend is very likely to continue based on previous consolidation, the fact that we are breaking a trading range, and we will simply look for those if-then statements moving forward to continue our thesis. Obviously, looking at other energy-related markets are going to be key to focusing on specifically energy-related stocks. Natural gas has a similar posture where we've done periods of consolidation. We are looking for a much larger monthly downtrend breakout to occur amidst a period of bottoming that occurred during the COVID lows and a strong recovery off of those lows. We have consolidated over time, and this obviously is a larger structure, so we do have to allow for this to continue to build as we are looking at larger time frame breakouts. But in our short-term mindset, as traders, day, swing, or otherwise, we still see opportunity here as there is strong volatility both to the upside as we get our key breakouts and to the downside as we hit things like our swing highs on the way to breaking out from certain structures. So crude and natural gas, I guess short and sweet, opportunity in the energy market at the start of June. Definitely want to mark that as notable and see if that theme or that thesis continues to be true. We talked about the dollar leading into the end of May. And with the dollar's posture, we noted that there was a potential breakout that could occur at a support zone. So far, the dollar has facilitated that breakout, but there has been a notable lack of follow-through at this time. The dollar has simply returned back to where it came from in the past week or so of trading activity. And with this posture, it does not mean that the dollar is going to head lower. That's not even necessarily the highest probability at this time. We are simply returning to a zone that we've previously been trading between. We see reactions off of this key area of support. We see rejections at the highs, and our first breakout attempt has been met with downside. So the dollar is simply putting in ranges that we can start to look at. If this range does ever break bullish and holds bullish, we will start to look at things that are inversely or I would say correlated to the dollar. Things like metals, which we are still looking at gold and silver, continuing their overall uptrend, clearing a lot of larger monthly, weekly channel-based structures. And just like with every other market, we have notable spots inside of previous price action to target if we assume that this trend will likely continue. Will there be pullbacks? Absolutely. Amidst those pullbacks, can we look to once again define risk and potentially enter into a trend that is has been forming for quite a while? Absolutely. But with gold and silver, those are markets that we know have key correlations to things like the dollar. And if the dollar is not putting in any sort of signal for us to consider exiting, profiting, protecting, or unrealized, then we can either take no action, we can take small action and not necessarily leave the position completely, or we can even look to reallocate. If something does not occur, why not consider adding to a winner as opposed to reducing a loser, or reducing a winner in the case of some of these trades to the upside. So gold and silver still, of course, remaining on watch. Also notable, silver having a pretty strong breakout this morning as we have consolidated over time inside of silver. Not too much of a pullback, actually coming to our 20-period daily, whereas gold still remains more elevated. I would say more challenging to allocate risk at these elevated levels, specifically in shorter time frames. And we can see that on the weekly as well, as it is starting to essentially extend itself further than silver has gone at this time. So with those couple of notes, there's also been significant gaps that have formed in certain key stocks. I'll bring up a few, and then we will go into them more in pre-market prep, as they are gappers intraday. One that's of in particular interest to me is a stock like BABA. BABA has been a notable laggard in recent, I would say probably past couple of months. We've seen lots of volatility amidst some of this price action. And what I'm simply noting here is that BABA is, just like other markets, coming into a trend line that may be of interest. BABA has seen strong pushes off of this trend line in the past. We've seen things like previous swing highs. We've also seen these lead to continuation on the overall trend. So potential for sort of a sell-off reversal at these price points. We've seen it happen a few times before. It has not lost this trend line at any point during the sell-off. And we are now seeing inside of an open a gap up, which to me is saying that the market participants who are interested in moving BABA's price higher are actually doing it quite aggressively inside of the start of June. What's also notable is that there are other stocks in the quote unquote China industries and sectors, most of which have at least a slight bit of correlation to each other, albeit their business models are quite different. Most of these stocks have gapped up this morning. JD, very notable, coming off of a strong earnings reaction. Stocks like Billy and Baidu, once again, strong earnings reactions, albeit they did sell off into their earnings themselves. And with these gap ups, just like we saw with sort of beaten down sectors, things like growth sectors, think biotech, think solar, think EV, there's been just a general lack of performance in the periods that we normally trade, daily and weekly timeframes. Have these gap ups basically signaled a change? And in that change, can we look for opportunity for trends to form? Obviously, we want to find the starting point of a trend and try to ride that trend for as long as possible to maximize the reward potential, but also to reduce risk, as we have a clear risk definition based on a previous swing low or some sort of just general market structure that we're looking at. So some opportunities to continue to review. I'll certainly be looking at these more closely, as we do have some clear opening signals starting off the month of June. But with all that said, my name is Jared. This is Engineering the Markets. Let's go into the month of June with a fresh mindset. Let's also look for new opportunities that are starting to form. The market may be giving us that information and essentially advertising that things are starting to shift in certain areas. can we as traders and investors take advantage of it and sort of ride that momentum that's starting to change? So obviously stay tuned for pre-market prep, and we'll talk more tomorrow.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market prep. I hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hope you had an amazing long day, long weekend there for three to 4 days. More for me and Norm there, but hopefully you guys had a really good time. Good morning, Norm. How you doing today?
Good morning, buddy. I'm doing well. I hope everybody had a long weekend, remembering the soldiers that gave the ultimate sacrifice to let us do what we do and live our lives in the U.S. So, it was great. Hope you had some good time. Happy anniversary to you. I know you were off a couple days celebrating that.
Thank you. Yes, it was a lot of fun. Me and my wife definitely enjoyed ourselves, so that was good. All right, guys, let's get to it. Just give us some feedback, guys. Make sure everything is working okay. The sound is good. You know, we haven't turned on the system in some time, so I want to make sure everything is in place. It looks like it is. If sound gets a little funky, just let us know. All right, guys, let's get to it. Jerry went through a lot of the stuff of the market and what's going on there, overall view of last month and kind of this month and what to expect. So we're not going to get too heavily into that. But Norman, are there any major announcements coming up for today or this week?
I mean, we'll see. We're at the start of the summer season, so we'll see how this goes. Obviously, we've got a large gap up this morning on the indices, up to essentially all-time highs, right there in that, just within grasp. So we'll see how that holds and how that plays out. Looking pretty strong this morning. Got a big long gappers list with only a couple of gaps on the downside. We've got final read on market manufacturing PMI at 945, and then the ISM manufacturing index following 15 minutes later. Construction spend at 10 a.m. as well.
All right, so we'll see how that's going to play out. You're absolutely right, guys. A lot in the green this morning with the market obviously doing well, up almost 0.5%. So that's a good situation for the way the things were about 2 weeks ago, right? Kind of like everything falling apart a little bit. Recuperating nicely here. We got quite a bit to go through this morning. So with no delay, let's get right to it, guys. Let's start with what's gapping down. So it'll probably be an easier list to look at. LEDS, this one is up here this morning, down actually 6.2. This was a little bit weird. You could tell here the daily's a little bit all over the place. It's not the cleanest day trading stock that we have seen. We did see a couple of pops on this one a couple of weeks ago, early May. And that was okay. I think a couple of you guys in the chat room did trade this one. For the most part, it could be a hit or miss. I do not like the pre-market action so much this morning. We do have shares for sure on this one. I'm not sure.
Just note the 2.4 million share float.
I was going to say, yeah, it's low flow stock. Yep, 2.4. So I'm going to throw that down here towards the bottom. And we'll keep that there for now. Here it is, ZIM this morning. Also not looking great, guys. Gapping down about 6.6 right now. 103,000 shares traded. Pre-market action is a little bit choppy. I do not like the way this one looks at all right now. So I'm going to skip on it. Yeah.
It's an Israeli company, and it's gapping down on news of a secondary. So
Yeah, so that's not even a great catalyst to look at. So we'll skip on that one. Let's go see what's gapping up this morning. Leading the way, guys, BTNR. So this one here is taking some huge couple of pops in the last couple of days, guys. Here you can see Thursday gapped up to $4. On Friday went up from 5 around 5.55 all the way up to 8. Looks like, at least in the market hours. Today already pre-market, we are hitting close to 11.50. So this thing is really got some punch to it this morning. 10 million shares traded. It is not a low flow stock. It is sitting at 37 million shares. So either way, you do want to treat this with white glove service here, guys. I'm going to put this at the bottom on top of LEDs, whatever, Zim, because again, you have to be careful. I know it's not a low flow stock, but the way this thing is moving, you have to be very careful. I put the wrong one here. I meant to put VN, not Sim. Sim, we don't like Sim. Yeah, Sim is not good. We're gonna put VT.
Mars continuation move. I guess there was news last week of them purchasing a refinery from Royal Dutch Shell. So still moving on that.
All right. So some good news there. That's playing out pretty nice over the last couple of days, guys. Let's see if this can continue. No shares for short. So we'll be looking for a long type play on this one. Here's AMC, and Norm, me and you missed a lot of fun in AMC. I just saw the tweets coming up and all the memes and everything, and we were not here for a lot of this action. But AMC, man, just tearing it up here. Yeah, tearing it up.
And then they're capitalizing on that. They had a private offering and secured some capital selling shares to an investment group, and that news came out, I guess, this morning. So either this morning or over the weekend. They say it'll help pay down some debt and acquire some assets, and that they are in full-on aggressive mode. Reopening is going on. I'm not going to say this. Obviously, there's a lot of reopening stuff on here from hotels and Airbnb and airlines have popped on and off the board and such. So, I've heard many stories of anecdotal stories of how busy travel is from people being on hold for hotel companies for hours, trying to either make reservations or change something to, I think it was the CEO of Marriott said they had the highest occupancy rate in their history, average across the U.S.
Wow.
I believe Saturday night this weekend. So, people want to get out.
And I hope these companies start hiring people back, man, because it's getting old. Well, not old, but it's getting kind of old when you call up anything due to the pandemic, hour and a half wait. Come on now.
Yep.
Come on. Let's stop that. Let's get people on the phone so I can call somebody and not be on the home for an hour and a half. That's not gonna go too far in the next few coming weeks. So AMC, guys, ripping here, guys. 18%, 23 million shares traded. This thing is definitely in play. We'll add this on here. Looking good right now. BB, another company that's is a meme type company here, also doing good. Up 9.3, 1.9 million shares traded. Now this one, I do not like the way this one trades. Even with the volume that it gets, it can be a little funky to trade at times. I am going to put this one as a possible for now. Because I know it is in play, guys. That is great volume. It is up 9.3, but just notice the difference between like a BB and an AMC, right? AMC just looks amazing this morning. Great pre-market action, great movement, great volume in there as well. SBSW, we've seen this ticker before. I'm not sure if it was a good one to trade. I can't remember, but looking at the daily, does not seem like it was. And
I can South African gold miner, right? Throw it in the trash immediately.
Yeah, let's get rid of that. Let's move on down, guys. BTU, this one here also does not look great. Pre-market action, only 107,000 shares traded, up 7.1. But again, just not looking all that great. So let's move down here. CAN, now this is Bitcoin. We have this one here. Is the only one that's on this list right now. I know Mara and Rai were, 2 weeks ago, they were just on fire, up and down there. At the moment, this one is up 6.7.
Futu's up there too.
Futu's up here? Oh, I didn't see Futu.
Tiger, Futu.
Oh, yeah, there it is. There's Futu. There's, where's Tiger? I see Plug. Yeah, I see a couple of good ones here. So yeah, CAN, guys, I'm just not sure about this one. It could be a hit or miss. We'll put it as a possible for now. It's leading the way at the moment. EDU. Now we know this one is the Chinese education company. It just doesn't trade very well, guys. So I'm gonna get away from this one. GameStop is had a couple of good, decent, long and short days here. At the moment, they're up 5.6, 276,000 shares traded. So pretty good. Again, I'll put it on a risky pile because it just could be very explosive. But you just got to be very careful. I'd rather trade AMC any day instead of GameStop. Even if they're both in play. Lissy's not looking too good right now. It is up 5.1, guys, 157. Pre-market action is all over the place. The daily's all over the place. Looks like we just started to get some volume here on the 26. Has died down since thereafter, but before that, really nothing going on. So, and even then with the volume, you had one good day here from $4 to about $8, and then from there hasn't looked great. Let's take a look at the action over the last couple of days. What's the float on this? 13 million. All right, so with that said, it's not a good one. We need anything under 20 million. We need great volume. We're not seeing that right now on this one. Looks like we had a nice pop, but the continuation has not quite been there as far as volume. So moving on down, Mox C. I believe we saw this one before we left last week. And it looks like on Friday they could get a little bit of a tumble here, dropping down pretty decent here, 17 down to about 11, 1050 or so this morning, just moving sideways and throwing some volume here and there in a very nasty pre-market action. It is up 5.7, but there's nothing to like about this one so far. So I hope
lower float at just under 16 million too. So
I hope we find something better than this. Here's XPEF. Right now they are up 4.7, 371. This could be a good possible. I like their run over the last couple of days, and they've done that very quietly. You only have about one day here where it popped up huge. Outside of that, it's pretty small gains on a daily basis here, but again, very steady, getting to a very interesting area of resistance and support right on here, guys. You can see how well that 33.74 is playing, where they're struggling to get above this morning. That could be interesting. With that said, I'm going to look at NIO as well.
Yeah, these Chinese car companies are reporting deliveries. XPEF did earlier this morning, a couple hours ago. NIO, I believe, did early this morning as well. They also, I think, even more importantly, got an upgrade out of Citigroup. So on their price target and rating. So
which one, XPEF or
NIO?
NIO. Okay, all right. So we'll put up NIO here, guys, just to keep one of these in our main list. We'll keep the other one on the secondary list. It looks good today this morning. NIO's just a little bit better with 1.4. Same pre-market activity, same daily, not much difference there. But again, hopefully that catalyst can get things going here. Here's Baba with a nice big pop this morning, guys. 4.7, 657,000 shares traded. Don't pay mind to this candle here, kind of messing things up a little bit. This seems to be a great pre-market activity. I am going to put it as a possible. I don't like to personally trade Baba, but they are in play this morning. This is a very big pop for them. As you can see here, getting above a previous area of support. So again, slamming right above that there. Let's see if they can hold that and push higher. PDD has been very active over the last couple of days. Today they are, well, that's not PDD. Hold on. That is PDD. There we go. So yeah, been active over the last couple of days here. This morning they're up 4.5. Not a lot of volume, so I'm gonna skip on this one. I hope to find something slightly better than this morning. Tiger is in play, guys. They are up a 4.3, 210. Their daily looks very interesting, as you can see here, slamming up against an area of support and resistance. Pre-market could be a little bit better, but let's see. This guys could be very explosive. I'm gonna put them on here for now. Let's look at a few more, guys. Workhorse, not good this morning. Again, just not a whole lot going on as far as volume. DVN, nothing happening there. I do like to break on the daily here, but outside of that, pre-market doesn't look great. A daily's a little bit choppier. So then I would like Envis. No, not a whole lot going on here. I don't think it's really in play. It's just getting a little pop here because of the market probably, unless there's any specific catalyst. NIO we have, that looks good. Futu this morning. Yeah, Futu, guys. I think Futu looks pretty nice here for a possible breakout. Again, alongside the other ones we just discussed. If you like this one, you can add it to your list. I prefer to watch something else. MRO this morning, pre-market's okay. It's not great. JD, I see a lot of you guys throwing this one out there. Yeah, JD looks good on the daily. Pre-market up 3.2, 177. JD's probably moving with Baba. Who has the news? Do we know here? That's a big gap up for these guys.
Well, I mean, they both have a little bit of news. JD had a segment, I believe, have an IPO over in Hong Kong.
Okay. We'll keep an eye on those two guys. I got them as a possible for now. Maybe one of them can come up to our our main list here. TLRY, this one, again, we've been seeing this gap up and down on our list, but it really hasn't traded well. And that's the reason why I'm not going to add it this morning. I could be wrong today, but looks like Friday they might have had a nice pop. Let's take a look here. Yeah, it looks like Friday they actually did well. But outside of that, it hasn't done a whole lot, guys. It's been pretty quiet. So I think today we can find something better. Here's Oxy, guys. That could be in play today as well. I am going to stop here. Let's see if there's anything else fun. Let's look at FuelCell. That's a good one that always, it seems to be a lot of fun. Today, not so much, pretty choppy action. Plug is on here as well. We do like Plug. It can trade very well. Not a great pre-market action. I'm going to keep it off for now, but let's take a look at what you guys have this morning. Norm, anything you like on your end today?
Yeah, OEG. It's a lower price stock sitting around $5. Not low float, 38 million shares, up 42%, 2.8 million shares volume. So,
yeah, this is running nicely today, guys.
I believe they got a contract. Yeah, I think they got I haven't gotten too deep into it, but I think they got a contract of some sort for a project.
All right, that is always good news for any company here. So they are looking pretty good this morning, guys.
Great shortable.
Yeah, you could play this both ways.
So could be interesting.
Yeah, it's looking interesting already, guys, here after breakouts. So let's see what it does here. It looks like it wants to break out at 520. OEG definitely in play, 3 million, up 42%, guys. So very nice there. All right, let's take a look here. Let's start with, who do we have? RT, OGI. I think you mean OGI. Is that a different one? OGI. Maybe you meant that one. This one doesn't look so good, though. Volume is very light. Let's just confirm that ticker. I want to make sure I'm looking at the right thing here. PLTR. Let's take a look at PLTR this morning. They're okay. I mean, they got volume 609. Again, PLTR could have an amazing pre-market action and do horrible. And this pre-market action is for them is okay. It's not great, but had a big day on Friday. Looks like we can add it as a possible. We can take a second look at it, but I'm always hesitant with PLTR, man. It just could be such a choppy stock at times. All right, heading on up here, PLTR. We do have PDD. We did look at PDD, and again, they're up again 5% this morning. Hold on a second. Let's get the bottom chart to be right. So they're up 5% this morning. Looks a little choppy right now. Volume is a little bit lighter. It is not an easy stock to intraday trade as well. So intraday trading, this one could be a little bit tough. I tend to stay away from it. I think some other ones here, AMC, NEO, and hopefully Tiger can get going and give us a good activity. But we know this ticker, guys. So if we see this one running up on our scanners, we can quickly take a look at it. But we'll see what happens there. What do we have? Tiger. So Tiger, guys, I like the daily on this one. I like the daily for a possible breakout, right? We're sitting here. We have not been up here in some time here. We had some resistance. We're over here. So that could be a nice breakout. And again, look how much room we have to run here. We have not been here since March. So that could be interesting. They're up 4%, 211. And also, here's the thing with Tiger. And this is where it comes to some of the things you're not going to see on the charts, right? Tiger can have a horrible pre-market action and trade very well and get the volume, right? So that's what I like about this one here. Might not be today. Maybe it's more of a possible. I agree with you there, but that's the reason why I have it on here. It could be very explosive. And I see the last couple of days, we've been getting some really good volume here and breaking out nicely. Now it's dying down. So we need that volume to come in and really shows that, hey, we can break out of this. And if the market can help it, that'd be great. But I agree with you. It's more of a secondary one, right? We can put it down to secondary. And we'll see if things get better there. But that's what I like about Tiger this morning. That day looks really good. All right, let's head on down. TLRY. Yes, TLRY, guys, again, is active right now, 413. Pre-market is okay. I'm just concerned of how this thing is going to trade. I think a lot of these are going to be moving with the market. They don't have their own independent catalyst. And for a few days here, they were just pure chop. Just recently they broke out and had a couple of nice days here. Do they have the strength to continue is going to be the key here. So we can come back to it. If it starts getting any better, pre-market looks okay. But for TRY, I expect this to be a little bit choppy. A lot of you guys calling out AMD. AMD's pre-market actions looking decent right now, 427, up 1.4. Nice breakouts last week, guys. On Friday, looks like we had a beautiful breakout there. Look at that. Nice consolidation. So beautiful day on Friday. Possible continuation today. I do agree with that. And look where that price action is sitting at right now. is literally between some highs and lows here. I mean, some support and resistance levels, and we got some good ones here too as well on AMD. So yeah,
that's
I
about
do
the straightest
like
line I've ever seen anybody freehand draw on a chart. You already deleted it. If not, I would have suggested you sell it as an NFT.
Yeah, NFT in conjunction with Epic Pen. I gotta call them up and see if we can get something going there. All right, guys. AMD, it does look good. I do like the daily on it. We'll keep an eye on it. Let's take a look at Nuke. This is Nokia.
Yes.
Is it? Oh yeah, no,
trades terribly.
Yeah, it's really bad, guys. Really, really bad.
Massive float foreign.
Now, let me ask you, why, Will? Why did you think of this one? Just curious, because I don't see anything great on it. What sparked this one for you to throw it out? Just
no gap.
Just thinking about it, it's gapping. It's not gapping up, right? It's got some volume, 847, but look at this volume, 847, guys. There's nothing happening here. Like even if we didn't know this stock didn't trade well, which we do, it trades horrible, so we're not gonna add it. You know, just by the way you're looking at here, is not one you want to be taking a look at, right? All right, let's take a look at Apple. Apple's always a good one to watch, guys, especially with the way the market is right now for a possible. What's going on here? Apple. There we go. Yeah, Apple looks good, guys. I'm surprised Apple is not gapping up a little bit more, but either way, I think Apple's a good one to watch. Maybe it's a possible for now. I do like their daily here. We seem to be coming down to this area of support here. So let's see what happens there. Right, here's Apple. We have that one as a secondary. Let's take a look here. NOK. Yep, you threw that one out twice. Let me know what you think about what I just said on that. Go Ed. Go Ed. Let's see here. Go Ed. Oh, no. Go Ed. I think this is another one of these Chinese education companies, right? Yeah, guys, this is brutal. This is brutal. Look, what? Yes, Friday, 17 to 6.
This is your thing. Go EV is the one that we see pop up every once in a while. Right. This one is appliances and stuff, but it's a bit of a. It's not a ticker you see every day.
Gotcha.
6 million share, 2 million share float. Yeah. So.
Look at the madness on Friday, guys. So again, something like this, you just don't want to touch at all. You don't want this anywhere near your montage. Please stay away from that. All right, what else we have? CCL. CCL here this morning. CCL looks pretty quiet right now. It is up 2% though. Volume could be a little bit better. I do like this one. Again, like Norm was saying earlier, a lot of reopening plays, right? So this is doing well. So are the airlines kind of on there. I don't think they're really in play on their own. But if things can get going, CCL, NCLH, American Airlines, these all could be a nice one. Now, I don't want to pack my list with all these companies. I'm going to add only CCL and American Airlines. I'm only going to put those two as a gauge on how the airlines and the cruise lines are doing. But I don't want to jam pack the list. And actually, we can put them up here as a possible. Because although we have a lot gapping up, there's not a lot that looks, phenomenal this morning. So I'll tell you that. So let's get rid of these two here. Oh, nope, not what I wanted to do. Let's come back here. Oh yeah, that's good. Right there. So we'll put American Airlines and CCL here just to take keep a pulse on what's going on there. But for the most part, unless the market gets ripping and these travel companies take off like they happened over the last couple of days, I don't see a lot going on right now. All right, what else, guys? Let's see here. Give me 2 Dogecoins for draw line straight. That's funny. All right, guys. I think we have a decent list. Let's check over on YouTube. What do we have, guys? Neo, we do have on deck Microsoft. Let's take a look there. What's going on with Microsoft?
You take a week away, man. I forgot how fun it is to do this with you.
It is. I actually did miss joining on every morning, man. We have a lot of fun here. It is a lot of fun. So
it's so in trading, it's difficult. It's so necessary psychologically to get time off here and there, yes. But. It's fun. We have fun together, that's for sure.
And with that said, guys, just a reminder, we did not have the onboarding class last night. We will be having it tonight at and Norman's going to go through announcements in a bit here. Tonight at 7. So just want to keep a reminder, you did not miss it at 7 tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time. We'll have that, and then Norman's going to go over the rest of the stuff that's coming up for this week. But let's take a look at a few from YouTube here. Microsoft, guys, again, pretty quiet right now. A lot of them looking like this at the moment. 74,000, not doing a whole lot right now. So I wouldn't be adding that one as one to be for the market open. Billy has a nice pop, but outside out of this pop, it has not really done a whole lot, right, guys? It had a good day Friday. It's been very quiet pre-market besides this one pop of 4.6. So that could be interesting, maybe a possible. And the reason why I add as a possible, because Billy could be a good one to trade. We had a really lot of good trades on Billy, but really he's not looking great right now. Mara, let's take a look at a few more here. 856. All right, Mara this morning. Yeah, I think Mara's not in play. Again, we had a couple of good days on Mara with Bitcoin dropping. That was fun. Here, I don't think it's really in play today. Taking a look at something else here. We have Tesla. Let's see, Tesla right now. Yeah, Tesla, same thing, guys. I think NEO, if you want to look at the EVs, I think NEO and XPEV are doing a lot better today as far as watching that overall area. Tesla actually is not doing a whole lot compared to the other two. So I don't think they're really in play this morning. So I will keep them aside. Again, you can always look at Tesla later if it hits the scanners. GameStop, we do have, it's right here on our risky pile. It is in play, but I'm watching AMC for instead this morning. I think AMC has been incredible. So we'll see what that does today. Great volume, 27 million, up 19%. So again, guys, not a lot on the list, but not a lot that looks great. A lot that's just sitting there, gapping up 2%, 3%, but just kind of waiting to see what's next, right? Yeah. And this is where we got to keep an eye on the SPY right now. If we add everything that looks like that just gapped up 2%, and it's just waiting there, your list will be ginormous, right? So you can't watch that. So pick a few there, and we'll see where the market takes us this morning. It's going to be key how we're going to open up and how we're going to continue here.
Remember, we're in summer trading, so usually volume drops off some. A lot of big players probably on vacation, stuff like that. You know, we had a good gap up overall, and you know, the question is, we've tried this a couple of times. Do we have the momentum to break higher, or are they going to fade this gap? So we'll see.
Yep, absolutely. Let's go to some community announcements. We'll come back and take a closer look at this list.
All right, guys. Brian usually does a swing trade discussion Monday, 2:30. I don't know. Hopefully he'll be in the room this afternoon to discuss his views on the market. Onboarding class is usually on Monday, as Carlos announced. If you're new here to the room and you'd like to attend that onboarding class, highly recommend it. It will be tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern in the classroom, Carlos?
Yep, classroom, that is correct.
All right. And then since it's Tuesday, we will have Eamon's trade reviews at noon. He also does that on Thursday at noon in the classroom. Success webinar, 8 p.m. this evening, which we'll talk about that in a second. Psychology, 8 p.m. on Wednesdays. And of course, mentoring session in the morning with Andrew on Thursday, 11 a.m. and Thor at 8 p.m. Thursday evening. Speaking of success webinars tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, Jared is going to kind of do a deep dive into his thought process, how he goes through all that engineering the markets that he does in the half hour each day. He'll be talking about this evening. And then next week is Peter talking about his mountain pass strategy. That'll be Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern as well. Tomorrow night, we'll have Dr. Reed talking about Trader Walks into a Bar. I love that. I love the title on that. He'll be talking about the misdirection bar, which is what he calls the 1-minute bar. Then next week, 8 p.m. Eastern, Mike will be discussing handling the emotions of trading. If you'd like to participate in the member trade of the day, trade of the week, take a screenshot of your best trade of the day. It should obviously have entries and exits so we can see what the trade was, and then mark it up with any commentary you can describing the trade, the strategy, and so forth. Post it on Twitter, tagging @BearBullTraders, @Mike_BBT, and @NormBBT. Also use hashtags BBTFamily, day trading, and stock market. We will pick the winner and announce it on Twitter each day and in the room in the afternoon, and then take all the trades of the day. Team votes on it over the week, and the best one voted, the one that gets the most votes from the team, is the trade of the week, announced the following Monday, or I guess in this week's case, today on Tuesday. If you are watching on YouTube, haven't been in the chat, use the promo code Premarket24. It'll get you a discount off the intro membership. That is 7 calendar days, 5 trading days in the room. does not auto renew or turn into any kind of other membership. You actually, if you enjoy it here and it feel like it's a good fit, you actually have to go then choose a membership plan. Anyway, it also gives you access to the onboarding classes that we described that will take place usually on Monday nights, but tonight.
All right, excellent. All right, guys, let's get to it. Let's look at our list this morning. We do have AMC here looking very good, guys. Very much in play. NEO is looking good as well, guys. Nice gap up this morning here with some good volume, 1.6 now. OEG continues to rip higher, guys. So here's trying to find a nice little pullback. It's just creating here, trying to get above to that pre-market high of 523. Looking good in that sense right now to get up there. AMD right now. AMD's, again, this is a lot similar to what we have in a lot of other stocks, right? We kind of got this little gap up, and then we got the sideways movement, guys. A lot of stocks looking like this morning. So I like AMD. I know they're going to get the volume. I know they can trade very well. So hopefully if the market pushes higher with some conviction here, a lot of these stocks can, like AMD, can do that. American Airlines, another one here, same situation, right? I'm just watching a different sector. I got the kind of the tech sector. I got the travel sector here as well. We got some EVs on there. So it's kind of spreading the love everywhere and see which one of these is going to have a bigger impact depending on what the market does, up or down, right? Because a lot of these, aside from NEO, do not really have their own independent catalyst. What OEG does, and this is why OEG is up, 43%. But a lot of them, again, just gapping up and just kind of moving sideways, waiting to see what's going to happen here. Here's CCL, same situation, gapping up and just moving sideways. But I do like their daily a little bit better. So what you do is now, when all that looks the same, try to look for something that kind of sticks them out a little bit more, right? So for example, CCL has a great daily, right? We're breaking out of an area we have not been at in a very, very long time. The few times we've been here, we've seen great rejection. So if we can get going here, this could be a whole lot of fun, right? So that could be nice. So I like their daily on there. American Airlines, a little bit slightly different. We do have some resistance up here at 26, but if we can get from 24 to 26, that is amazing. AMD, on the other hand, you don't have a lot of headroom as far as you do with American Airlines and CCL, but this thing can move very clean. So I do like that one. OEG, obviously looking very good. NEO, same thing, guys. Let's see if we can break out here. And also AMC is just on fire. When's the last time we were this high on AMC? I mean, was it like what, 4 or 5 years ago? What is this? Is this actually no, about 2017. 2017, we got some levels here. Since I'm here already, I'm just gonna put my levels on AMC right now so I don't have to come back here. So look at the price right now. You see that red line right there? That's where the price is. Look at where it's stalling. We're getting a little bit of resistance right on there. And that seems, if the most recent times, to be an area of resistance, or slightly below. We're kind of breaking out of it now. But actually right on it, 31.48. I'm going to throw that level right on there. It could probably be 31.50, will make sense too. But look at the area of resistance right on there over the last, over a span of 2-3 weeks there. Finally broke down, didn't do a whole lot. Comes back right to that level once again. Here it breaks out, slams right below it again one more time before we had this massive sell-off here. So that's a good level to have. Above that, we are going to have 32.11. That's a good one there too. Let's throw a level there as well. And let's see here towards the top, because this thing is very aggressive, as we see in the last couple of days. Let's zoom in here. Now, I know I'm looking at 2016, but this is the only data you really have up here. And obviously, you can see the way the pre-market is acting. It is respecting some of these levels back from 2016. So I'm not the only one doing this. There's some other folks that are trading doing the same thing and looking at these levels. 33.27 is another one. And then just for the heck of it, because I know this thing can run, let's look at 35.50 as a gray area of resistance here. Nice double top going back to 2016. So we got some levels there towards the top here, towards the bottom. Let's do some just in case. I know here is the low or high of the last trading day. So slightly above that. Do we have anything clean? Let's look in here. Do we have anything clean here? Maybe. This is not a major level, guys, but I'm going to add it on here. 30.64. You can see some areas here of resistance right on there. A little bit of support, but more resistance than anything. You got support happening here, resistance there, resistance, and a little bit of support there, right? So 30.64, it's not going to be a 31.50 like you're getting now. I mean, this is clearly getting rejected left and right, and you can see that now we're struggling to get above that 31.50, but it's still something you want to have on your list there, that 30.64. And actually pre-market right now 30.64. look, we had a struggle there before we finally broke out of that. So it is paying attention to some of these levels, even going back this far, guys, because the only thing you really have up here is this this area there. So can you believe AMC was sitting at $1.40 in January, right? Hopefully you guys bought a couple of shares there and are still holding on to that. Let's look at NEO next, guys. NEO this morning, they are up 3.5 right now. 1.7, so volume continues to rise on this one, looking very good right now. Pre-market high is 40.28. We'll throw a level there, and then towards the top, guys, we're going to sit over at a 41.43. And then right over here at 43.11. So some pretty good levels towards the top here. You can see here those levels being tested over and over again. So that's good. Support and resistance looking very, very nice there. Now towards the bottom, you have plenty of support, guys. Highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. The only thing I'm going to add here is the low of the pre-market. So I'm just going to go right overhead, right over here and add a 39.49. I like this one better. I know the low of the pre-market is right here at 39.42, but 39.49, we got a nice little bounce back test there happening. So I do like this level a little bit better. And that's it. That's all you need to add for NEO, guys. NEO looking very good this morning. Again, very similar to a lot of the stocks, just kind of gapping up and moving sideways. Let's see where we go from here next. OEG, on the other hand, this thing is doing a nice ABCD pattern here, guys. Here's your A, B. This is your consolidation C point here. Let's see if we can get a breakout above 523. Looking like it does want to go up there and retest that. Volume at 5.6, so it's looking very good. Let's get some levels in here. Let's go back here. Now, towards the left here, we have a nice level here on the daily. This is a good one because you got a couple of tests here happening at 462 right over here. Area of resistance. You got some support, major support there, and some support there. I know the wick came down here, but look at that. This to me, this is a great support. It comes back up and, you know, actually, no, opens up, slams down, and comes back up above this area of 462. This one here slams below that and then also comes back up above this 462. So obviously, that 462 is important to the stock. We'll keep an eye on that one. Above the pre-market highs right now, we do have a good one here too. 617, great area support and resistance. Another one here at 677 as far as our daily. Towards the bottom, guys, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. I don't think you need to add anymore. This one looks okay here. This level at 405. I see a lot of touches on here as well, right? So you got 405. That could be interesting. Maybe not too much weight on that 405, but I think it's a good one to have. In pre-market today, we also saw a little bit of resistance happening there before we have the nice little breakout at 405. Here is AMD. Again, AMD not doing a whole lot, just gapping up and then moving sideways, right? For the entirety of this pre-market action. So you have to gap up with the market and then just kind of waiting around what is next here. High of the pre-market sitting at a 81.50. We'll throw a level there. Above that, guys, on the daily, we do have a great level tested here a couple of times. 83.54 right on there. 83.54 is a good one. Above this, we do have 85.26, also tested around 3 times here. Here is the closing of this day and also the resistance of this day there. And then slightly above that, we're going to have 87.15 and all the way up here, 88.14. Again, I don't think we'll get there, but we're ready with our levels in case we do. Low of the pre-market sitting at 80.65. Let's throw a level there, and then below that, you do not need to add any more, guys. Highs and lows from the last 2 trading days after a beautiful breakout on Friday. Hopefully, you guys took advantage of that. Look at the consolidation happening here, and then the breakout Friday. Can we get a nice continuation? Like many stocks, again, bouncing back, waiting for continuation. American Airlines is another one. I like that as well, waiting for a continuation here. Again, pre-market action. This is really more of a possible, guys. There's not much happening here, but I want to watch the travel sector just in case that thing gets going. 25.17, great area of resistance over here. Got a couple of days opening and closing right around that area. Above that, we do have 25.91, and then slightly up here, 26.09. But you're pretty good there. Then towards the bottom, guys, you can mark down the low of the pre-market, which is this little line here. I'm not going to do it. It's this line right over here. And I don't care much about that. I care more about the previous day close and the highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. That's what I care about more here when it comes to Apple. CCL, very similar situation. What I like about CCL, guys, we have a lot of room. We have not been up here in some time. Look how clean this is up here, so we can get going. High of the pre-market right now is going to be this wick over here at 40.50. So we'll throw a level there. And is that going to, yeah, that's pretty much very close to this one here. So I'm not going to add a level. This week is a little bit higher, but I'm not going to add a level to that. Towards the bottom, you do have highs and lows from the last 2 trading days, so you do not need to add anything more there. Now, if we go back, we're looking at February of 2020. Before the madness. Over here, we do have a level there. Good one, 33, 30, 30. So 33.30 is good. And here, you just kind of got the stairs effect, right? It's not really great levels. Things were just dropping, but I'm going to mark them down anyway. 36.16 and 38.18. These are not great as this one is, right? This 33.30, this is the nice level. That's the heavy hitter you want to try to get to there. That's a good area of resistance that hopefully we can aim for today if we can get going. All right, as far as levels towards the downside, you're pretty much covered. I think that is good for CCL. All right, guys, let's take a look at our possibles list. We have Apple here. We have TIIGR. This one, again, I want to keep a close eye on that one, guys. So you could possibly break out. What time we got? 9:11. We got time for levels on this one. Let's just create levels. Let's be ready. Here we have 24.46. Above this, we do have this area here, 26.91, and then also up here, 29.20. So let's just be ready for a breakout on this one. This looks very, very good for a possible breakout on the daily. Again, pre-market, similar to everything else, the pop-up and then just the sideways action, right? So you're not getting a whole lot there. POTR, on the other hand, daily's not so great. It's okay. BABA is in play, guys. Big pop for them this morning. BB is okay. I'm not going to trade BB, so I'm going to get rid of it. CAN, no, this thing has been horrible. Let's get rid of that. XBEV is good, guys. That could be another one to look at. JD could be exciting today. And I have Billy here also because I know they can move very well. Also, again, you got a lot of the popping up, gapping up this morning, and then just the overall sideways action today. Let's delete some here. And then we also have GameStop is definitely in play, guys. So if you do like GameStop, that one is in play this morning. VTNR was started off very well, started to get going here, kind of selling down a little bit here. You do not have shares for sure. So it's losing a little bit of strength here over the last couple of days. This thing has been ripping nicely Thursday, Friday, and today. Can that continue? And LEDs, it's not looking good. Let's get rid of it. For low flow stock, it doesn't really look like it has the juice right now. It could get better, but for the most part, let's get rid of it. All right, guys, let's take a look over at our Moz list and see what is going on. Okay, let's head on down here, see what our lineup looks like today. We'd love to see what the moderators have on a day like today because it is really, you can watch so many different stocks that look very similar. You can also be picky, right? If you have stocks that you like to trade that you have done well with in the past, those are stocks that you want to keep an eye on if it looks similar to something else. All right, let's come up here. What do we have? No IPOs for today. John is looking at GameStop, BA, the Bs, BABA, Billy, and Baidu, all in place today. I think BABA is looking good. Billy, although they're gapping up, and I know there's a lot of stuff gapping up, those two's gap up is a little bit higher based on the daily than the regular just gap up overall market. So again, they're looking pretty good. We did not look at Baidu, but I assume that that's looking well also. Watchlist AMC for Tiffany is AMC, BABA, and NEO. Thor is looking at the SPY, which again, we all should be looking at the SPY, guys, and see what's happening there. XPEF, NEO, secondary list CRL, RCL, and also BA this morning. Mike is looking at BA, BABA, and NVIDIA. Dima is looking at AMC, NEO, XPEV, and Tiger. Peter's looking at AMD, AMC, CCL, BB, American Airlines, OEG, and Apple as a secondary list on those last four. Jared's looking at BAG, so that BAG means BB, AMC, and GameStop. He's also looking at some energy sector stuff there in crude oil. He's also looking at XPEV and NEO, and also XPEV previous swing for a high there. Secondary is Chinese stocks, and Brian is looking at AMC, OEG, BB, XLE, and also KWEB there for Brian. So pretty good list, pretty similar to overall what we're watching here as well. I saw a lot of people putting BA on their list. So let's take a look at BA. See, BA is a real good one. Same thing as other stocks, guys. You got the pop-up and then you got the sideways action. Oh, we got a clown over here. Somebody delete this clown over on YouTube. Jesus. All right. Okay, so BA here. So BA is popping up pretty nice here. And again, because it's kind of moving sideways, but then we know BA could trade very, very, very well. So I am going to add BA over here as well. There we go. BA, I like BA. Let's do some levels for it. I think it looks very, very good. Towards the bottom, guys, we do have the highs and lows of the last two trading days. Let's move over to the left here. What do we have towards the top? We have this one up here, 258.16, excellent. And then up here, we got another level at 267.26. And obviously all the way up here. Again, I don't think we'll hit this, but we're ready for it. But it's 258 looks really, really good, guys. 258.16. This is the level that we're going for if we are going to go for a run here. So BA, again, like many stocks, bouncing back nicely over the last couple of days. Let's see if that can continue here. All right, outside of that, guys, I think we are pretty good. We are all set. We have everything in place. Remember, guys, tonight we do have our onboarding webinar, not at 8 p.m. It's going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So join myself, Mike, John, and the rest of the gang there. We're going to go over some things about our community. We love to hang out with you, answer any questions you might have for our intro members, and also for our members that just joined. Come on down and we'll give you a whole entire overview of our website, where things are located, our education center, and also answer some questions you might have. So it is a lot of fun. Definitely stop by, and we'll love to have you there and kind of go over a few things. If you haven't signed up yet, you could do so and use the Premarket 24. The link is in our description of this video. So if you go to the link on the description of this video, you'll see how to sign up for the trial. I think it's also here in the chat room if you have not joined over on YouTube, and also TradingView. So thank you guys for joining there as well. Guys, hit that like button, subscribe if it's your first time here. We do this every day, Monday through Friday when the market is open, and we would love to have you here for the long time. So take care, guys. Stay safe. Over on YouTube, we're going to continue here in our channel with our members. Andrew and Brian are up next. They're going to take us through their watches and what they liked this morning and take us through the market open. So take care, guys. Stay safe over on YouTube. Hit that thumbs up. It helps Norm and I tremendously. And we'll see you guys later tonight or tomorrow. Take care, guys.